SpaceX's insane new nuclear spaceship. SpaceX has always strived to improve its spacecraft. The SN16, SpaceX's spaceship, has undergone a major milestone this time. Today, we'll delve a little more into NASA's and SpaceX's plans to return to the moon for a longer stay. Since the 1970s, there hasn't been a human presence on the lunar surface. The success of SN15 has inspired SN16, which has a succession of breakthroughs. The success of SN15, which contains hundreds of scientific advancements, gives hope that Elon Musk's dream of changing humanity into a multiplanetary species may be realized soon. Even though the SN15 Starship successfully landed, SpaceX discovered a few faults that needed immediate attention, which is why the SN16 Starship has been vastly improved. But what precisely did SN16 go through in terms of upgrades and improvements? Let's have a look. Number 1. Landing legs. Legs that touched down when SN15 safely landed, it was instantly noticed that the landing legs of the spaceship were crushed upon impact with the ground. This was recognized, and after a thorough study, SpaceX decided to promptly remove those legs. The landing legs effect can be used to support a load. The idea is to crush the foot so that you can observe how soft it is when you land. The less damage the leg receives, the gentler the landing. SN16 was given gigantic legs as a result of this analysis, which will be able to support the rocket's weight even if it lands with a strong impact or pressure on the ground. Number 2. Methane leaking. The SN10 and SN11 explosions were caused by methane leaks in early SN prototypes. Even though SN15 has hundreds of modifications, after landing, a small flame appeared in the spirit of SN15. The primary cause of this catastrophe was a documented methane leak. SN15, on the other hand, was well controlled by SpaceX despite the little ignition, and unlike SN10, it did not explode. SpaceX technicians have put in a lot of effort to evaluate and improve the methane supply system, as well as stop the leak in SN16. This will offer a strong platform for the first orbital test of SN16, which is set to launch later this month, based on the data collected during SN15 testing. Number 3. System for landing position. SpaceX had yet another issue with the landing positioning system. SpaceX went through a lengthy process of upgrading and fine-tuning the index analysis so that the SN16 could go into orbit precisely without being diverted and land in the correct area. When you consider what Musk says about reusable rockets, I feel this is the most important factor in ensuring that a rocket lands in the proper location and in one piece. This was another enhancement in SN16 that was made possible by increased precision. Number 4. The Starlink connection system. The Starlink dish was originally attached to the SN15 for a successful flight test. The Starlink dish connects spacecraft to SpaceX's world-leading internet system. The next goldmine for SpaceX is to establish an internet system on Mars that will allow humans to connect with one another in the same way that they do on Earth. We'll be a multiplanetary species once we've evolved. However, SpaceX still required a significant amount of data in order to thoroughly investigate the entire mechanism and ensure that no difficulties arise in the future. They updated the technology even more after investigating and obtaining additional information on the Starlink connection for the first SN15 flight test in order to improve it for SN16 and subsequent SN generations. Number 5. Tiles that protect against heat. Most of you won't even think about it now. However, after a successful landing, some heat shield tiles lost their connections and slid out of the overall heat shield system, as seen in SN15. Although this is a small issue, SpaceX has taken notice and installed an improved version on SN16. Number 6. Electronics control system. A successful SN16 test flight will necessitate an upgrade to the electronic control system, which will be a once-in-a-lifetime experience for SN16 as it watches SN15 take off for the second time. This will give SpaceX more information and enable them to improve the next generation of SN prototypes. Engineers from Starbase are working in Texas 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to fix the problem, not to mention the fact that we're all hoping for a successful SN16. SN16 will be a crucial step toward humanity's aim of creating a multi-planetary society if it launches and lands without accident. SpaceX is in the fortunate position of having a safely landed spaceship that is still in good shape at the launch site. A touchdown on SN15 has been pulled onto Launch Mount B after a launch from Mount A after lying on the landing pad for a few days. This was the first time a single spacecraft occupied both suborbital launch platforms. Elon Musk hasn't said anything more about SN16's imminent arrival in the sky. The decision will almost definitely be postponed until the vehicle, including its engines, has been thoroughly examined, which will be possible now that it is back on a launch platform. Considering that the preliminary assessments carried out while the vehicle is parked on the landing pad are believed to be positive, this will provide additional access to the SN15 vehicle. SpaceX has many options, from reflying the spacecraft to conducting ground tests like cryo-testing the car and determining what constitutes a post-flight setup. SpaceX believes SN15 may be massively benefitable. This is also a major achievement that harmonizes the company's philosophy of reusability. The new flight data would also be included in the likely SN16 flight. The Project Artemis will begin in 2024 to establish a long-term moon presence. Unlike its competitors, SpaceX is the only company that offers a lunar lander capable of transporting hundreds of people and tons of cargo. In its South Texas factory, SpaceX is continually constructing spaceships, with several stainless steel prototypes flying at high heights. According to NASA, in a large-scale flight test, SpaceX will demonstrate the transfer of 10 metric tons of cryogenic propellant, especially liquid oxygen, between tanks on a spaceship vehicle. The lunar-adapted SN16, according to the corporation, will be able to fly between the Moon's surface and lunar orbit several times without the need for flaps or heat shielding for return to Earth. A prototype of NASA's Spaceship lunar lander nose cone is on display at SpaceX's Starbase construction facility. Furthermore, reporters and photographers photographed and videotaped the mock-up extensively, resulting in a significant amount of media attention and recordings. The company's founder, Elon Musk, expects to make his maiden orbital test flight this summer. He intends to launch a spaceship from Boca Chica, Texas, into orbit around the Earth as well as land on the Hawaiian coast. They have already received authorization for this flight, and if all goes according to plan, this year will be a watershed moment for this company. Do you think SN16 will be able to continue Elon Musk's and SpaceX's dreams? Do you believe this spacecraft is capable of colonizing Mars? Please share your thoughts in the box below. Thank you for taking the time to watch this, guys. Give it a big thumbs up if you loved it. To avoid missing future uploads, subscribe to our channel and click the bell symbol. Until the next video, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.